So I started college. I mean, I started high school and I did about 3 months only at high school. And I graduated with the senior class at 14 and a half.
Wow.
And ended up going to Portland, Oregon for undergrad. Started college at, I want to say, almost 15.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I started college and I literally at the time just, still barely spoke English. So I bought a big dictionary.
Yeah.
And I would have the dictionary and biology. Yeah. And I was pre-dental, pre-med.
It's amazing.
So these are my courses: physics, biology, organic chemistry, like all this crazy.
Almost like a prodigy at the time.
Right. And
that's
so
pretty
I'm like,
incredible.
Right. And so all my sciences, I'd taken them in French growing up. So I didn't know English, right?
Casual, right into it.
Yeah, I do like a whole introduction.
Yeah.
La la la, and
we're not that professional.
So I'll tell you why. I'll show you why as soon as the intro is done.
See, there you go. You look perfect.
Oh, good.
Right?
I gotta make
Great
sure my
lighting.
hair looks
Yeah,
good.
great lighting.
Actually,
You have good lighting.
Looks really good right there. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy with the way
I
you
like
look.
that. Okay.
She's very opinionated.
They all are. They think at that age they know everything.
Everything. Yeah. Sound good? Yeah.
That sounds good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All
Nice.
right.
All right, go ahead. Cue the intro.
Okay, this is what we do.
This is
Boom, 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 boom. It's kind of, there we go. That's it. Chad loves it.
We gotta get the energy out.
Chad
of the body,
loves
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we just started that one.
It's funny because on the way in, I was listening to music. I was all pumped up, and I'm thinking we need like a system in here where, like just a separate system.
Oh yeah, you know what? Well, I mean, I think it would be very beneficial to have a certain music in here for each guest when they come in, something different, so they have a vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You need to ask your guests ahead of time, like, hey, what's your vibe?
What gets you going?
And when they walk in, like for me, I start my podcast with a song.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song? I can't remember.
You don't know the name of your song?
Well, we're going to do all different songs, though, I think.
Yeah, but you should do different songs.
Each guest, we need a couple.
Lottery. Lottery's my song.
I don't know who that is.
Can you bring the mic a little closer to you?
I forgot.
Me?
Her.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking mine was pretty far away, too.
Her.
I'll leave it right
Guitta.
here. All right.
So the reason why we don't do an intro is, when we first started this podcast, we didn't want to be like a boring addiction, mental health podcast. We started this podcast because I've worked in addiction treatment, owned drug and alcohol treatment centers and mental health facilities for 22 years. And a year ago, it'll be this coming Monday, my 22-year-old daughter, found her fiance dead from fentanyl.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
So that's why we started the podcast. And I was watching other people that did podcasts on addiction and mental health, and they were so boring. They would be like, hi, today we have Guitta, and she is here to talk about...
Well, it might not be boring, it's just not our style.
No, it's boring.
He's trying to be nice. Listen,
so anybody who does have an intro like that, you
like
might want to...
He's just straight to the point.
Yeah,
Sometimes I say things and people are like, did you really say that? I'm like,
right?
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah,
like, just say it.
All right. No, it is. It is more.
And overnight, we basically became the #1 podcast on addiction and mental health.
Yeah, pretty close.
I love it.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah, we're rolling right now. It's pretty crazy.
Well, you guys are so cool. I mean, that's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. So, and it's not just that. We didn't stop there. That's where we started. But we called ourselves the Hopeaholics because we want to bring hope to anybody that's struggling. Because if you really think about it, everybody struggles with some type of mental health issue, whether it be some trauma, some pain,
100%.
Something that gets them stuck.
Toothache.
They can't Toothaches
are rough, bro.
Toothache can cause some mental,
right?
issues.
Yeah,
It goes straight to the brain.
Well, that's what I said.
You can actually die from.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You can die from abscesses.
Yeah, brushing your teeth is very important.
Very important. He always brings out the good points. See.
Well, I'm being honest. This is not a laughing matter, okay? We're talking hygiene here. I don't mention hygiene on the live, but it's very important.
Oral hygiene is so important, you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
They say it could take up to 10 years off your life.
100%.
Is that true?
Oh, totally true.
Through different diseases?
Did you know that like all the bacteria that's in your mouth can actually affect your heart?
That's what I'm saying.
It's correlated with heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, all sorts of things. So people just think like, oh, it's just aesthetics.
Did you bring us any swag, like a toothbrush or something?
You know what? I should have. I came straight from home.
Unbelievable.
Why didn't I think about that?
I don't know why.
I'm gonna come back and you guys are so close to my office.
Are you? Okay, good.
Yeah, you're
good.
like 15 minutes away. I'll drop off some goodie bags.
Yeah, we should get some.
I'm gonna come back.
So what kind of dentist are you?
So I am a general dentist, but I'm a cosmetic dentist. So I do a lot of like smile makeovers, veneers, full mouth reconstructions, crowns, implants. So although I do everything, I mean, I see kids, I see families, we do it all. I do extractions, implants, all of that. But my passion are smile makeovers. And the reason why, I'm going to say it before you even ask me, it's because I love seeing transferring, right? Like I love seeing the transformation. Yeah. And, you're talking about how oral hygiene is so important, but a smile is, to me, is the most important thing. Because think about it, you walk around, people say hi, what do? You smile. Do you go, hi? Yeah. Hi, right? Yeah. So how are you? I'm good. How are you? I mean, and when people smile at you, what do?
Yeah, smile back.
You smile back.
Try to.
When you're having a bad day, even like fake smiling actually releases serotonin.
Yeah, I agree.
So I have in my office patients that, and I'm not talking older patients, we're talking like in their 20s and 30s that come to me and they're talking to me like this, right? And so, or they're talking and, going like this. Yeah. And they've never smiled in their lives, whether they had, a hard childhood where, they were not able to have the money or afford dental care. Or maybe I've had addicts in my office that have done so much drugs that every single tooth in their mouth is rotting. They come to me and I rebuild everything. Yeah. So that, to me, the reason why I'm so passionate about smile makeovers is the fact that I'm not just making someone smile pretty. I'm transforming their lives, changing lives. And literally the second I deliver, whether it's the crowns or the veneers or whatever I'm doing, and I give them a smile, it's just like automatic, just crying. Like bursting out, crying because, you're changing their lives. Now they can get that job that they want. Now they can have a relationship that they want, right? There's so many people that
just everything.
Are not dating. Like I had this 32-year-old that came in my office and I'm like, she's like, I haven't had a boyfriend in forever because I'm too embarrassed to even go date. And literally we transformed within 2 weeks. She had a brand new smile and she left, and then within a week she was already dating. Like she already had, all these dates.
She was up on Bumble already.
So she was already. I don't know the dating sites, you guys. I got married before all that.
Right, me too.
Stuff, but I don't know. People say crazy. Bumble. I'm like, what's that?
I know. Be careful. Is that the okay one?
I
don't know which one's
the one you don't. None of them are actually that okay anymore. No, they've all gone downhill. Yeah, and I haven't been on them in 7 years. So
So, but that's where my passion is. It really is just changing lives. To be honest,
I love that because that is a smile says everything. A smile, if you have a good smile, it gives you confidence. Yeah. If you're missing teeth or you have black teeth and you don't want to smile.
No.
There's so much in a smile. Like I smile and when I smile and I make other people smile, that makes me happy.
Totally.
Right? And I also learned that you can say, hi, how are you doing? Or you can say, hi, how you doing?
Of course.
Just smiling
changes the tone
of
your
voice. I just walked in and I met you guys. And imagine me going, hi, I'm Dr. Harb.
Yeah.
And imagine me going, hi, I'm Dr. Harb. Yeah. I mean, there's a big difference.
Huge.
Right? And the way I feel and in the way I make you feel, right? It's not just how I feel, it's also how I make you feel. And, the other day I was out and I was walking with my daughter and this lady we were at Starbucks somewhere and this lady at the mall just kind of like looked at me and just like, for no reason, just smiled. And automatically I just smiled back. I mean, I don't know her. She doesn't know me. I don't know what she's thinking. I'm not thinking anything, but automatically, right? My first reaction was just to smile back. And there was nothing said, you know, maybe she thought I was I don't know. I'm sure that was pretty. I don't know, but she smiled at me. I smiled back. So it's really like it's a dominoes effect, right?
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
and it's so important.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes I don't love it, but it just sometimes cracks me up when you like are genuinely just, I'm a nice person and I genuinely just smile at people sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes you pass somebody and you give them a smile and they just don't even smile back. And
don't you hate that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I hate that. That happened to me during COVID, you guys. I talk a lot, so if you want me to stop talking.
No, you're going good.
During COVID, there was nothing to do, right? Like I wasn't working. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
Oh, yeah.
What the
Okay, I can cuss.
Come on, man. Let's go.
So I was like, what do I do with myself? So I was obviously going on walks because there was nothing else, nowhere else to go. And in my neighborhood, I would walk and, you know, people, of course, they see you when they cross the other side.
Complete imbecile.
But even with that, I'd be like, hi. And they're like, you know, I'm just like, oh my God. And that just kills me. It kills me when people don't smile back. Like it doesn't take an effort. It's maybe a half a calorie. I always say hi and smile. It might burn a half a calorie. Yeah. Like just smile.
I agree.
Right? It is annoying.
I'll tell you, COVID wasn't good because like, and I don't want to, you know, take sides on anything, but like I wasn't a mask wearer.
No.
Oh, so, you were one of those, huh?
Yeah. I was one of those.
Yeah.
So then if I smile at somebody and they had a mask on, they weren't happy about it.
No, they were not.
Of course, like, he's not wearing a mask.
No.
Killer. He's a killer.
Yeah, he is.
I was at work because I was a, I run an essential business, and my business is saving people's lives.
Right.
You know, it's getting people off of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. So you had to be there.
Yeah. And I've done drugs and alcohol in my past. And I thought to myself, man, if drugs and alcohol haven't killed me, COVID is not going to kill me. No. It was a little scary at first, though, like, because I was like one of the only people at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm at the grocery store shopping, and everything was eerie. I didn't see a cop on the roads for 2 months.
Yeah. It's weird. It was very
2
weird.
months.
Yeah.
I'd come home, everything was shut down.
Yeah.
I would come home, I would like, you know, I didn't even want to touch my wife until I showered.
Yeah, of course. That's what we did too. We would come home and we would literally like, I would make my husband, I'll just tell you a funny story. Because we had the office closed for a while, right? Because obviously we couldn't work. But when we did go back to work, I was so scared because I'm a dentist, right? There's like aerosol and saliva and blood flying in my face. And, you know, I'm like right there with my mouth and my nose and breathing all of it. So my husband would come home and I'd be like, honey, I would call him. And he was like, take off your clothes in the garage. You put them in a plastic bag. You walk upstairs naked and you jump in the shower. So the poor guy was doing this.
I got to look at this guy now. All right.
So the poor guy, I'm not kidding you, would come home. And I did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, we were both working and I would come home and I would literally like strip. Yeah. And of course I'd close the garage door first.
Yeah.
I don't want the neighbors seeing us naked. But like he would come in. And so this one time I had a girlfriend in my house. Okay. And I completely forgot to tell my husband.
She was at home.
I have guests.
Right.
So here he comes from work and I'm completely like, you know, in this conversation with my girlfriend. Luckily for him, I was facing the door that walks in from the garage and she was facing me.
Right.
And I did not hear, I had the music going. I did not hear the garage door open. And all of a sudden,
he's there.
Here comes my naked husband.
Naked Mark.
And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, what? I didn't think. He's like, I'm just, that's Monday afternoon.
Oh my God. That's
like,
a natural, that should have been a natural reaction when she sees it.
So literally after that one time, I was like, honey, you might want to just keep your underwear on.
Right? No, right? Like, that takes all the fun out of it.
I don't think
Come on,
saliva on the underwear, right? Like,
well, there could, a little too much. Almost went too far there again.
Oh, finally. That was
good. There we go. Just 30 seconds late.
Yeah,
so that's my funny COVID story.
When you,
I used to do the same thing. My wife,
when you yelled, oh my God.
Yeah.
Did your friend not turn around really fast?
No, so he walked in.
The music was on.
Listen, when I have guests in my house, the music is on, the candle, I don't care who it is, a girlfriend, a friend, a big party, a small party. I light up the candles.
Yeah.
The house has to smell nice. And so when he walked in, I think he saw everything. The music's on. He realized, and he saw her head. So I just said, "Oh my God!" And thank God there was a wall. He just goes, like, and then she turned, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh my God, my husband Mark just walked in." And thank God we're really good friends.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
You know, that was a really
That's
funny
a good one.
incident.
My cheeks are sore.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like that story. That's a great story.
Yeah. So that was quite.
Yeah, we had
interesting.
I had a friend, one of my employees who did the same thing because her mom was like 80.
Oh yeah,
Cindy.
Yeah.
They would literally, but I think they had their washer and dryer in their garage.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good idea.
Mine's not. So
No,
mine is
isn't
upstairs.
Yes,
so we
is
would.
ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to put it in a plastic bag and
Yeah.
tie it and like
I did the
throw
same.
it in the laundry
I did
like
the same
that.
just because of my kids.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
did too, and I went 9 months. I made it 9 months out in the world without getting COVID,
Yeah. You know,
and then I got COVID.
you got COVID. We never got COVID.
Neither did I.
I mean,
Yeah, my wife got it. I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
ate with her. I was kissing her. I didn't
You
take.
did?
Yeah.
you're kidding.
no.
While she had COVID?
Yes.
Were you trying to get it?
No, I just didn't care.
Oh, you just didn't
Yeah.
care. Huh. Interesting.
That was like
Yeah, so
whatever.
I spread it to everybody.
Oh, you're one of those
His
super
dad.
spreaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know because I was fine on Sunday, and you know, I went to my dad's to give him some food, and he was 85 at the time, and I dropped him off some food, and I left, and my mom had been in the hospital for her blood pressure. That's why I was feeding my dad that day, and so then I went home, woke up in the next morning. I was like, I'm not feeling very well. So I came to work, and we were testing here on site.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I might need to test myself. So I tested myself. I put on a mask. I stayed until, I don't know, like 11. Then I was like, you know what, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up
Oh,
at
you were
like
tired.
6, and all of a sudden I was like, fuck, I don't even need to wait for the test.
You're
I was
like,
like,
I know I have
this
it.
is gnarly.
Really?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Chest was just full.
Crazy, bro.
Head was like pounding.
Yeah.
Had 103 fever.
Wow.
That's not fun.
No.
Oh, I'm
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
It lasted 2 days. That
Yeah.
lasted 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I still had a cough for like 14 days. And I had it during the time when and I lost my
Your taste.
taste and smell completely.
Wow.
Like you could put the grossest, like we did apple cider vinegar, and I was like, I can't smell it. I can't smell it.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
So yeah, I ended up I tested positive for 17 days.
Oh wow.
And that was back when they said you couldn't go back to work until you
Test
or like
negative.
14,
Yeah.
14
They
days
said-
or test negative.
or test negative. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Poor
my
thing.
dad got it. My mom got it. My wife got it. My daughter laid in bed with my wife the whole time she had it and never
got it. Yeah, see, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that's pretty much over.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was not a fun period.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, like
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah. Growing up.
Growing up. So, well, as you know, I don't know if you know that, but I grew up in Beirut, Lebanon.
That's
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It used to be what a beautiful. I mean, back in the day, gorgeous city.
it was called, well, it still is, but it was called the Paris of the Middle
Yes.
East. So
Yes.
Beirut is like the Europe of the Middle East. I mean, it's just got like the casinos and the
Yeah.
clubs and, you know, the resorts and the most beautiful people you've ever
Yes.
seen. I mean, it really is. And it's all on the Mediterranean. So
Yeah.
it's like a beautiful just Riviera from like north to south. So it's gorgeous. So I grew up in Lebanon, but, you know, as much as an amazing childhood I had, I also grew up during the war. So, you know, the war kind of started when I was young and, you know, it was off and on. Obviously, it wasn't every day, but it was, you know, 1 year it would start, 1 year it would stop, then it would come back, and then it would, you know, it'd stop. And so as much of an amazing childhood I had with my family and growing up there and perfect environment, it was very, very hard as a child growing up in that, you know, in that environment.
Yeah.
And so we used to have like bombs fall on top of us. We would be like sleeping, and then all of a sudden, like, pew, pew, like there's a bomb outside on your balcony, just explosions. And I have stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in, you know, obviously every sort of, so we lived in Beirut. So Beirut is like pretty much, it's a city, right? So it's like penthouses, right? So underneath each building, you have shelters, right? They kind of like, because of the war, so you have these like underground shelters. And so I grew up pretty much like, there's sometimes like be 3, 4, 5 days when you just don't come out of the shelter. Wow. Right. So we grew up where, you know, the bombs would start falling, and I was like, you know, I'd call myself the key holder, because I had fear of death growing up. Like I was just like, because that's just what I grew up with. Like I was just born in the, you know, in the war. Right.
Yeah.
And so I always used to hold the key to the shelter. So all the neighbors, I literally would just run and open the shelter and like, you know.
Yeah.
And mind you, on top of that, you know, during the war, the government was like complete mess. So we wouldn't have electricity, right? So you're just like running in the dark with a lantern, sometimes a candle, sometimes a flashlight, and trying to find your way down to that shelter. And you may imagine that as like a 4 or 5 year old, right? Like this is what we had to deal with. So, and you know, we would sleep in the shelters and hope and pray that you don't get killed, that you would wake up the next day alive. And then, you know, you do, and then the next day you just do it all over again. And you go to school, you get up after all these bombs, and they're like, oh, it's time to go to school. We're like, oh crap, right? And then you just go to school, and so many days where we would go to school and they would start bombing during school. And I remember at the time, my sister was older than me, so she was driving. And she would just come, and we went to this all-girl Catholic school, French school in Lebanon. And so it went from like, you know, preschool to, I want to say high school. And so I had 4 sisters, and you know, 4 of us were at that same school. And so the eldest one drove at that time. And so she would just find us in the school and gather us, put us in the car and say, okay, we gotta leave. We gotta head home. And so you would be driving, and there's literally like all over, all around you. So, yeah, it was you know, it was a tragic, you know, way to grow up. And like, you know, you're just in this world where you think everybody lives like that. Right. And there's like sometimes no electricity, no water. You would have to like heat up water on the stove to have water, you know, so you can like wash, right? So it was a hard childhood, but you know, when that was not around, it was a beautiful childhood. You know, it was just like we had a mountain house, and we'd spend summers there, and you know, with the goats and the sheep and camping, and just like the old fashioned life where, you know, the milk guy would come and milk the cow and bring it to your house, and be like, here in a stainless steel bucket, right? My mom would boil it on the stove, and she's like, drink your milk. And that's, you know, what I hold on to, you know, at growing up and my good memories back home. But, you know, there was 2 sides of it. It's like there was this heaven and there was hell, right? And so hell was hard. It was terrible. So, yeah, it was really like tough childhood growing up. And then eventually, my parents started sending, you know, a child one by one to the States, right? Because my mom did not want them growing up in that environment and going into the army and like dying and all that stuff. So she was like, you know what? The second they turn 16, these kids are getting shipped to the States, right? And they're going to go to college there, going to change. Like, this is not, I don't want my kids to die. And we were 8 kids. We were 8 kids. So we were 4 girls, 4 girls and 4 boys.
Wow.
And so it was, you know, it was hard. It was hard on my parents. I mean, I can't imagine right now with only 2 kids, and we're in a, you know, we live in an easy, to me, this is an easy environment. Maybe to other people, they think life is hard. But for me, having gone through all that, I see like beauty in everything now, right? But yeah, I mean, growing up, having 8 kids and having to worry about, you know, making sure they're alive every day is a big time job. It's like constant worries. So my mom would just send, you know, my brother and then my other brother and my other brother to the States. And then eventually it got to a point where half of the family was in the States and half was in Lebanon. And And one summer, my dad goes, and he's a politician, so he kind of knew when things, he would shut down the country sometimes. And I would get phone calls like, are the schools open tomorrow? Is your dad like going to be on the street like rioting? Or is he shutting the schools? Like, that's how my dad, he was a badass, like godfather. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's how he was. And my mom was like, no. Like, we need peace in our life. And so... But anyway, so one year the war got really bad, and we used to rent a house in Cyprus. I don't know if you know where Cyprus is.
Yes, of course.
It's a little island. So my dad's like, you guys, he knew like things were going to get really, really bad. So he's like, let's just pack our stuff. Just bring like bathing suits and shorts and summer clothes. We're going to go to Cyprus for 2 weeks. We're going to wait for things to get better. We're coming back home. And I want to say like in middle school, like my last year of middle school, and it wasn't over yet when the war like really broke out really, really bad. We had a few more months left of middle school. And my dad's like, nope, we're leaving. So one day we just like decided, packed our stuff. I don't even know what I brought with me, just packed our stuff. And at the time, the port in Lebanon was shut down and the airport was shut down and there was absolutely no way out. And so you had to know somebody to get you on this like private ship that came at 2 a.m. in the morning, like and quiet, right? And they're like, they would shut down all the lights, right? And they would come and shut down like the engine or whatever. And then they would come to the port and they would load up the people and then they would go to Cyprus. And then within 45 minutes into, heading back, the lights turn on. Yeah. It was something like literally out of a movie.
Yeah.
And so we got our stuff and we just went to the port and it was like, I want to say it was 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. It was like pitch dark and there was bombs like just all around us, like boom, boom. And my dad, I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, they're just loading up the luggage. I'm like, oh, this is not luggage. Like these are fucking bombs, right? Anyway, so we got on the ship and I just remember like sitting quietly in the dark and then within 45 minutes, the lights turned on and they're like, all right, we're getting, away from the port and you guys can turn on the lights and whatnot. So I ended up going to Cyprus and we stayed for about 2 weeks in Cyprus and eventually things got even worse. Yeah. And my dad was like, well, I'm not taking you guys back to Lebanon. Let's go visit your brothers in the States. We're like, okay. So got up, got our stuff, and then flew from Cyprus to, at the time, my brothers were half in Connecticut and then half was in Oregon, Portland. So we came to Portland, and then from there, things got even worse back home. And my dad's like, well, I have to go back home. And my mom's like, well, I'm not leaving you. So I'm going back with you. And I was 14 at the time. And I didn't speak any English. I spoke, my first language is Arabic. My second one was French. And so I barely spoke English and I was like, well, what do I do? Like, where do I go? And so they're like, we're just going to put you and find you like this Catholic high school in Connecticut. You're going to go there and whatever. So I went and I tested high school and they were like, she's just beyond, like she's at a college level.
Oh, nice.
She cannot waste her time in high school here.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I don't speak English. Like this is a problem. And they're like, you'll learn. So just come. And this was, I want to say February. And like, so halfway through school. And my parents were like, how about this? How about you just go to high school, finish up, like graduate with the graduating class, right? The seniors for 3 months from from February to May, learn a little English and then you go to college. And I was like, okay, we were 14, like, what do you say? So, so I started college. I started high school and I did about 3 months only at high school. And I graduated with the senior class at 14 and a half.
Wow.
And ended up going to Portland, Oregon for undergrad. Started college at, I want to say almost 15.
Wow.
So, so I started college and I literally at the time just, still barely spoke English. So I bought a big dictionary.
Yeah.
And I would have the dictionary and biology. Yeah. And I was pre-dental, pre-med.
It's amazing.
So these are my courses: physics, biology, organic chemistry, like all this crazy,
almost like a prodigy at the time,
right? And
that's
so
pretty
I'm like,
incredible,
right? And so all my sciences I'd taken them in French growing up, so I didn't know English, right? And so I remember walking into my college classrooms and the professor's like on the board and he's talking, and I would be like going like this with the dictionary and then going like this with the biology book and like that with the diction, trying to understand what he's saying. I got by, I did good. And eventually second year I did even better, and then applied to, wanted to be a dentist. So I applied to dental school, and I eventually moved to Boston and went to dental school there, and then did a residency in New York, and then eventually ended up in California.
That's fucking awesome story.
That's a little.
Damn.
I know it was a little short question, but
No,
I took you.
That was crazy.
I can tell you.
That's actually what I wanted to know.
And a lot more detail. There's a lot more to that, but that's kind of the short version. So, and
here
I am.
Here you are. The OC dentist.
Yeah.
The real
OC dentist. The prodigy, really, because 14 years old, going to high school, going to college.
Were you also young when you graduated dental school?
I was the youngest in my class. Yeah, I was the youngest in my class. So I think I want to say I was probably started at like 17 and a half, 18, graduated at 21, I think. I was super young.
And 3 months of high school? That's nice.
Yeah. What I like is, first off, you're a badass.
Yeah, badass.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I really like how tough times created a tough woman too, though.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that saying.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sayings.
I love that saying.
Yeah.
Do you know how it goes?
Tough times make strong women or people.
Yeah. We always have to change it because it says men, but it's people.
Yeah, people.
When they write these things, they write them so long ago. They just meant people.
Yeah.
But tough times do create tough people.
It truly does. I mean, I don't think that I would be the person that I am today had I not gone through all the things that I've gone through. Like this morning, I woke up and I get up at 4:45 every morning to work out, so I can be there at 6:30 for my kids and wake them up and make them breakfast, and I can be at work at 8 o'clock. But even this morning, I got up and I was on my Peloton and just, doing my workout, and the sun wasn't even rising, right? It still hadn't gone up yet. And just like staring at just nothing. It was just a little bit of like orange, right?
Yeah.
And the horizon, I was just like, wow, this is so beautiful. Like, and and sometimes I get on my husband's nerves, right? Because I take a picture of everything and I videotape everything and I enjoy, like, I'm having a cup of coffee on vacation. I'm like, this fucking cup of coffee is so good, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm just like, because I think I grew up praying to see myself. I remember being 5 and I remember sitting in the shelter, and I remember, and this is why I hate the news right now. I cannot, my husband's not allowed to turn it on in the house.
I stopped.
Because it gives me PTSD,
right?
I stopped watching it.
Exactly. Because growing up, it was just like, this bomb fell here, this guy died, this guy lost his shoulder, this guy's amputated, this guy's dead, the ambulance. Now.
Oh, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah. So now I cannot watch the news. I cannot see war movies. I have major PTSD. But that, I think without any of that, I wouldn't really appreciate everything. You don't appreciate life when you don't know how precious life is, right? And so growing up during the war, I remember being 5 and I remember like holding on to the cross and praying and going, God, I hope I see myself at 7. And then I would turn 7. I'm like, please let me live till 8. Like literally, I'm not kidding. This is what I'm saying.
That's heavy stuff for a kid.
So it just makes you like appreciate every moment, and you have to really realize that there's beauty in everything. Like there's beauty in a cup of coffee, or just like driving on the highway, like listening to music and like taking it all in.
I have a tough time.
I know you have a tough time with driving anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you have him.
He has issues.
I don't like driving much now.
He just has anger issues.
Well, because there are people that don't know how to drive.
Yes, see, there we go.
So I get it.
I'm okay.
I'm like that. My kids are like, Mommy. I'm like, I'm the Lebanese driver.
You're right,
like,
exactly.
Back home, it's like there's no freaking lights.
The Middle East, it's nuts out there. Just a honk and a wave.
Oh yeah, like when my dad comes to visit, he's like,
crazy.
Can I drive? I'm like, absolutely
no chance.
not.
I know.
You are not driving here because he's crazy.
It's true.
So are your parents still in Lebanon?
Yeah. So my parents, they come and go, but they have been, they were with us actually for a little while before COVID. And they were back and forth kind of visiting the whole family, like on the East Coast, West Coast, and all of that. And then right before COVID, my dad was like, I gotta get back, like, you know, my house, my family, my friends. And so they got back and they've been there since. Yeah. So
Nice.
we went last year to visit.
And there's
them.
7 others.
There are
How's
7.
everybody?
How old? Or
How is everybody?
Good. Everyone is great.
Nice.
Yeah, we all love each other, super close family.
Oh.
Yeah, we die for each other, and they're all just amazing kids. So
Which one are you out of the 8?
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
I'm the baby
Oh wow.
of the 8.
That's why she's so feisty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
So on top
Yeah.
of that, she's feisty.
yeah.
I'm the
Very feisty.
I'm the
Yeah.
baby as well.
Yeah.
I have 3 sisters and a brother.
Oh,
Um,
babies are just like, you know,
they're the coolest.
we are the coolest, right?
Says the youngsters.
Yeah. You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all right.
Yeah, and
The
he has
oldest
the
are so mature.
he has the older
Yeah.
older brother or the older sibling. What do you
Yeah.
call it? Thing. I don't
Thing.
know. Yeah.
I don't feel it though.
It's your younger brother.
Wait, how
Whoop
many
your
are
ass.
you guys?
There's only 2. Well, biologic 2 of us.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But there's really 6. My father was kind of
Oh, okay.
my biological father was kind
The
of.
funny thing is,
He was a player, you know.
He's
what I'm
the-
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
So,
he's
I
the
get it. I
he's the
get it.
biggest.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
But between him and his brother.
Yeah.
But his brother, man, and I probably sometimes the babies become so tough.
Yes.
Because we're like picked
we have
on
to
Yeah.
deal with the
and
older
beat
kids.
Yes.
up,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's why Dave is the way he is.
Yeah,
Dave
that's-
is
Oh yeah.
just a tough.
Yeah, that's why he's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my mom's crazy too, though. They're both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of yeah, they got the same blood, those 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have 4 older brothers. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I used to wrestle. Like we used to.
Right.
Oh yeah. We'd
Yeah.
wrestle down. Like. Yeah.
So what I know now you love smiles, but what made you when you were going to college and you were so young, you were like, okay, I want to be a dentist, but then when did you say I want to make people's smiles look better?
At what point after I became a dentist? I think it was honestly probably, you know, when you graduate dentistry, they don't really teach you how to do smile makeovers, right? They kind of teach you how to drill and fill and here, you know, here's how you do a crown, here's how you do a tooth, but they don't teach you like the essence of dentistry. And I don't think it was until probably about 3 to 4 years after I was into dentistry that I did my first smile makeover, and I just remember the feeling that it gave me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you just work, right? And I'm working, it's great.
Yes.
But then for me, I'm so like, I don't consider myself a normal person anymore. I think I've just realized that the last year because I'm so passionate about everything I do that I think like it needs to feed my soul and my mentally. Like everything to me is mental. Like I get excited and turned on by anything like that stimulates my brain, right? Like, of course, you know, I love to look good and clothes and all of that, but that's not really like what turns me on. And so for me, when I did that smile makeover and I like you feel the energy of the patient
You're
in
happy
that
now
room.
doing what you're doing.
It just like, it's just jolt of like happiness, you know, like they say, like when you help people, it makes you genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's that like organic, euphoric feeling that I got. Like I have these hands and I can change someone's lives, right? Maybe you're not doing something big, like you're not going and like volunteering and you're not Mother Teresa, but like you are changing lives with my hands. And so when I
100%.
felt that capability, like I'm not just sitting there like, oh, there's a cavity and I'm drilling it out, putting a white filling and bye, see you later. I think that first time when I really felt the capacity that I had with what I'm doing, with my work, that's when I think I was like, whoa, like this is what I really want to do. Like this just took me to the next level.
Yeah, well, because it's also an art. Because
That's what I
I've
was
seen,
to say.
is.
She's an artist.
yeah, I've seen people get a smile makeover, and you know that maybe the dentist just wasn't an artist.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and their smile doesn't look right.
100%.
Uh,
Yes.
And that is, you know, sad for the patient.
Very. And you know, I've had patients come to me where it's like, you know, oh my God, I just did this, you know, these veneers with someone else, and I'm looking and I'm literally like,
Oh.
either this dentist is blind, Or I don't know what else to say, because it's like one tooth is longer, one tooth is bulkier, all the teeth are bulky. For me, I think I have an eye for aesthetics. Like this is why I look the way I look, because aesthetics to me is important. Like I gotta have a nice body, and not because I'm vain. It's because that's what I love. I think aesthetics and beauty is life.
Well, we were saying before you came here that in every picture you are dressed to the nines.
And you know, and I love
it's
that
nice.
Because people go, well, even my husband, I mean, he's right here. You can ask him. He's like, well, this is not a show. It's not a fashion show. We're just going to the gym. Yes. Yeah. Because I might not wake up tomorrow, so I'm gonna look good today. Wow. Right? Like I don't get. So you know, to me, it's like looking good makes you feel good, right? And so I love to have like I love beauty in everything. So, and I love creating things. And as a child, I remember like my older sisters would be like, "Oh, I'm done with this jeans, throw it out," and I would go grab it from the trash, and I would cut the pockets and I would make purses out of it and put it together. Wow. And like I love creating things. Yeah. I don't consider myself an artist, because I think to me, like always in my head, I was like, an artist is someone that can draw. And I can't draw. If you give me a pen and a paper, I will draw you a stick still to this day. But I think what dentistry gave me is creating beauty. And so like sometimes people will ask me, well, if you're not a dentist, what would you have done? And I think for me it would have been like something in fashion or something in an interior design. It's something where I can create beauty. And so dentistry gave me that. And I think when I realized that, you know, I can change someone's life by really creating these beautiful smiles, I think that's when it really hit home for me. And I was just like this is it. This is why I love my job. Yeah. And you know, on certain days when I'm busting my ass and I'm just like covered in blood and saliva and my head hurts and my shoulders hurt, and I'm sitting there 5 hours over one patient drilling every single tooth in their mouth, you know, I get up and, you know, there's other people that complain. They're like, oh, my head hurts. And I've never complained. I get out and I was like, wow, this is like amazing. Like, this is my feeling when I'm done.
Good for you.
So I love what I do. And I think, honestly, it was the first, I remember like 3-4 years into dentistry that I realized that this is like my passion.
Oh, you got lucky.
I really like everything that you said, because Shane and I have the same routine as you. You know, we're up way before the sun rises. I'm typically up at 3 a.m. because I like to do my prayers and meditation.
Right.
I also shoot out a couple social media posts real quick, and then because I am bald, it takes me a little bit to, you know, get this bald head going properly.
You gotta fix it.
It takes more work to be bald than it does to be a man with hair. They get to put some water in it. Yeah. No, I gotta shave it, and this way, that way, make sure there's no weird hairs hanging anywhere. And then I'm off to the gym, and I like to be home before my wife and kids, like right when they're waking up and getting ready to get ready for school. I mean,
it sets the start to your day.
It does.
Right? So when you get up and you're rushing, and you get out of bed and you run out and you're rushing, I got to get my kids ready. I got to get them to school. I got to make breakfast. Your day is just chaotic from the beginning. But when you get up and you have those moments alone when you're like, okay, and I meditate every morning as well, every night. I do that too. Even like 5-10 minutes in the morning, just to like really take in the day. And then having my coffee and sort of in my head, I'm like, okay, what's going on today? Like, you know, my daughter needs this. I have that. I have this case. You know, my son's getting out. It's just the way you work things in your head. Yeah. And you go work out. Working out for me is therapy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same.
I mean, I've never seen a therapist in my life. So to me, you know, that's how I deal with my own things. I get on the tread and I go crazy. Like I'll run, I'll put on and music is therapy for me. Like my husband knows I cannot live without it. Like it's on 24/7. If I walk into my office and it's not on, my staff's like, oh, Dr. Harb's here with the music. So getting on that treadmill, doing your workout in the morning and like releasing all these like, you know, toxins out of your body, and then you gain all these endorphins and you're happy, and then you shower, and then you're like, okay, now I can deal with my day. Now I can deal with my work, my employees, my patients, my kids, my everything that comes at me.
You feel worthy.
You want to know why? It's because you wake up in the morning, and before you even get to work, you have stacked a bunch of wins. You know, and that just gives people so much more confidence and so much more than somebody who wakes up and they're scattered and they're, you know, and they're this and they're that.
Yeah.
You know, you woke up, just waking up before the sunrise, whatever time your alarm goes off or it's natural for you, getting up, that's a win.
You feel accomplished already.
Yeah.
I mean, for me at 6:30, if I haven't done my workout this, I feel like a loser already.
I know, it's true.
I do.
It's true.
I do. I feel like, oh my God, 6:30.
I know.
And even on the weekend on Sundays at
Can't sleep
6:30,
in.
I'm like, oh my God, it's 6:30. I haven't done anything
I know.
yet. So I get like panicky, you know, where I know, like, and then when I know I've worked out, I've already had my planner done. I've already like packed this and packed that for work. Like, I'm just more relaxed. I'm more me. And I walk into work and they're like, Dr. Harb. I'm like, hi guys. And they're like, do you have like 10 cups of coffee? I'm like, no, I just like got off of a run, you know, like I just worked out. So it's a natural high and there's nothing like it. Like there's no other therapy besides like running, music, working out, and really feeling good about yourself.
It gives you that, it doing all of that. You can you can read all the books you want. You can do all of these things, but if you don't add that piece to it and the meditation, and for me, you know, God having all the pieces, you can't just do the books.
No,
you're not going to have or the right music or whatever.
You need everything.
You need it all.
you need it all. Yeah.
You know, and plus, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I walk into my dentist's office and my dentist is out of shape and lethargic and, you know, smelling like a burrito, I'm not coming back.
Right.
I mean, I might not even sit in the chair.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's first impressions
Yeah,
with
I
people
agree.
too, right?
I agree.
And I tell everybody that if I'm gonna go to a doctor or a dermatologist or anything or anyone, and I walk in and I to me they're sloppy and they're not healthy. And why would I want to take advice from them?
They're going to tell that your diabetic doctor is going to tell you how to treat your diabetes.
I know.
And he looks like he's possibly diabetic.
Yeah.
Or
It's what's going on out there now, bro. 60% of America is
What if
overweight.
your
And it's nice your
dentist has-
husband's in great shape as well.
Oh,
what if your dentist
So it's nice that you
has-
guys are doing that together.
We
Yep,
do
and you
that
guys-
together every morning. Every morning.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you see a couple where the woman is on one track and the man's kind of on the other.
No, I got him on my track.
Good for you.
I
Good
wake
for
him
you.
up now at 5.
Good for you.
I'm
And you're
like,
smart
you're
for listening. You're
handsome
smart
guy,
for
too.
listening. Very handsome.
Yeah.
Thank
Do you know Dr.
Handsome
Joe?
guy
Do you know
and-
Dr. Joe? Plastic surgeon of mine?
Dr. Joe.
Dr. Joe.
No.
He's your plastic surgeon.
He's my plastics. He gives me. Oh, and your sister too.
You have a plastic
I have
surgeon.
two of them. We're old.
Oh,
We're
okay.
old. We're old.
I don't have a plastic surgeon, but my sister.
Well, your sister's
owns
kind
a
of
med spa.
Med spa.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
my family's all in
Yeah.
That's
the
nice.
medical field.
I love that.
I'm in the mental health field.
Yeah.
It's the only difference.
There's not much difference. I mean,
I just had my forehead done a couple weeks ago.
did you get Botox?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And from his sister.
So I started doing Botox in my office too.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
shoot my patients up now. It's the
Of
best thing.
course.
I get so excited about it.
Yeah.
I get excited now about Botox more than dentistry.
Yeah, nice.
I'm like, woo! And my
Good
patients
for
are like,
you.
all right,
She's a
Dr.
go-getter. He's a
Harb."
go-getter. That's just amazing, man. It's a power couple right here. This
Yeah.
is a standard
Thank
Newport
you.
Beach power couple right here.
Thank you.
It's
You guys are
beautiful.
awesome.
God. 2 kids.
We have 2 kids.
Wow. I'm just
Yeah.
excited for these two. What a life you guys have.
Thank
What a life you
you.
made for yourself.
I know
Oh,
we're probably out of time, but can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Tell us just a little bit about your podcast, because
Yeah.
that is actually how I found you. I was
Oh,
scrolling
that's awesome.
through, and all of a sudden I found you, and
Yes.
then you had a girl on there, the Marin's friend, his wife's
Lacey
friend.
OC?
Yeah.
Lacey?
Lacey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So my podcast, I woke up, I don't know, 8 months ago and I decided, well, actually a year ago, and I said, I want to have a podcast. And my husband at the beginning was like, well, you're crazy. You're so busy. You have this, you have that, the kids, the office. So you're already like, I hardly, see you sitting down. And I kind of forgot about it for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then, I was sitting there one day in my office and I said, no, I'm starting a podcast. Like, I'm going to do it. Like, no matter how busy I am, if I have to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to get this done,
Good for you.
I will get it
Yeah.
done. So I literally just got up one day and I found a studio. I found a producer, and I had this vision in my head. And, people always sort of look at you and they think like everything's sort of handed to you, right? Oh, you're successful, you have this, but no one realizes when I tell them the story of what I went through,
Right.
what took me to get here, right? It was like, you know, growing up in war, moving here as a child, learning English, fighting for things, you know, wanting things. And, you know, my parents were not with me
8 in a
from
family,
age of 14.
everything.
So like nobody pushed me at age of 14 to become a dentist. No, I just wanted a better life. I wanted to become this person. And so I wanted to really sort of bring to light journeys, right? Journeys of success, of hope, just like you guys are doing, right? So, and really like put emphasis on what does it take for someone to be successful. So for someone to reach their dreams, for someone to really work hard, like there's a journey behind everything, right? It's not like we all just woke up and decided, I'm just going to be this dentist and I'm going to just, you know, live in Orange County. Like, no. It took a lot, and it takes a lot, and people don't realize that. They sort of sometimes look at you and they go, she was handed this, she was handed that. I was handed nothing. Nothing, right? Like nothing. So, and so that's kind of how it started. And, you know, the name Smile Diaries came because I wanted to incorporate, you know, dentistry and smiling and really the journey. So for me, everyone has, you know, we all walk around and we smile, right? But everybody has a story. Everybody has struggles. Everybody has something behind their story. There's not one person that walks around that has 100% perfect life, right?
No, it's impossible.
And so that's where the diaries came in.
It's awesome.
And it was like smile, but diaries. I want to know what's behind that smile. And so I just decided to do that and really, and going back to the fact that I need things to feed my soul and my mental, you know, curiosity. This was just, I wanted to help out people. I wanted to bring to light, you know, all these things. And so I decided to, you know, start Smile Diaries. And, you know, I invite all these amazing guests that are, whether they're entrepreneurs or influencers or whatever, they've had so much going on in their life. And we really talk about their journey. And to me, that's where mental health came in, because I've been through so much in my life. And I have, you know, I have anxiety. I have PTSD. I don't show it, but I have it, right? Like still to this day, if you put me in an elevator and I get PTSD because I've gotten stuck in elevators as a child between 2 floors for sometimes an hour. And so like, you know, I have all that. And so, you know, there's no shame in having that, right? Like there's no shame and shouldn't be shame in talking about it. So I wanted to bring to light all of that. And that's where kind of Smile Diaries, you know, started out. And I'm just loving it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying meeting so many incredible, incredible people. And it's been just one of those things where, you know, it's just fulfilling my soul, making me happy inside. So, and just the journey of just
it's beautiful.
Filming it and just learning about all these people and then impacting people. And I get so many messages that, you know, at first it was like, well, what is this about? Is it about some like, you know, gossip? And it's nothing like that. It's really about so much to learn from, and so much to take in. And if I can just change one person's life, you know, I think I've done what I wanted to do. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that is just beautiful.
She would be perfect for Tim Story's World Shakers, females.
Yep. Do you know
She'd be
Tim's
perfect.
story?
No.
Yeah.
We'll just tell you real quick off
Air.
We'll
talk about it. Yeah.
And we have a guest that we think you should put on your podcast.
I would love that.
She is our partner.
Okay.
She is a WWE superstar. Her name is Natalie Marie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she would be amazing
I would
on
love
your podcast.
that. Yes, of course.
And she has veneers, and I think she's got a little crack in hers.
Oh, we gotta fix
She
it.
was flossing the other day.
Oh yeah, that's
and she cracked her veneer. Yeah.
Well, do you guys know a good dentist that can fix it?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do now.
Yeah, we do now.
We didn't know before.
Yeah. And she's got 6.5 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Let's get her on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
she'll
she's
come on right
I
away,
love
guaranteed.
that.
She's
Yeah.
great. She
That'd
lives
be
in
great.
Texas. She's here tonight. She'll be here, but
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
reach
know
out to
when-
her.
Yeah, we'll set it up
I'll
for sure.
I'll talk to her tomorrow and just remind me tomorrow. We have we're just doing a lot of filming and stuff.
Yeah.
Because besides that, she's our partner. She is a host of the Hopeaholics podcast.
Right.
But she's also part of my bigger company, which is the Infinity Group, which owns and operates 6 different drug and alcohol treatment centers
wow.
and mental health facilities.
Yeah.
And we just launched NEM recovery centers in Laguna Beach. So it's the flagship for her very first treatment center.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
She's
I
also in
actually
recovery.
get a bunch of patients from a treatment center in Laguna Beach.
Which one?
I can't remember the name of it, but
Pillars.
I don't remember. But yes.
One of my other ones.
Yeah, we've gotten called a few times. You know, to treat patients from there. So yeah, and we've had
we can talk about that too. Just so you know, I have a lot of this building you're in is my biggest treatment center. It's called Hope by the Sea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, love to connect after. And
we are super stoked on your story. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
I know that you'll have to. Your husband's in between
giving
patients.
How
are we doing on time? Are we okay?
He's giving her the evil eye. I gotta go.
Probably over.
We're fine. Yeah,
okay.
we're good.
Okay,
we're
good.
What's that? Oh, he's fine. He'll be all right. He's within the gates. He's safe.
Exactly.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really enjoyed your story. Yeah, very, very much.
Thank you so
powerful.
Much. Thank you.
It is powerful. It brought hope to me, and I know if it brings hope to me, it brings hope to our guests.
I hope so. Yes, I love sharing my story because I think, you know, no matter where you come from, you can always make everything, you know, better, and you can always work hard, and there's hope always, and people just need to remember that, you know. So. Yeah, I'm grateful for you guys
too, because see, that's where that's the important stuff right there that people don't, and that's what I like about what you said about your podcast is because people think that I just landed right here.
Right. Yeah.
This is 22 years of hard work grinding. Yeah. I started with nothing. We had nothing. We had $10,000 cash that we all scrounged together to start a tiny 6-bed treatment center because I knew that God left me here on December 9th of the year 2000. He left me here because I literally should have died in this car accident.
Wow.
And he left me here to help other people that suffer from the same thing that I suffer from.
Wow.
And on that day of that car accident, I had a negative 500 bank account because I had gone to the bank. I had stuck in
a fake card,
fake money. I didn't put anything in the envelope.
Right.
Took out some money that I didn't have.
Right.
That is amazing.
Can't do that anymore.
No, you can't do that anymore because now you just stick the cash in and it actually counts the cash.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you could just stick in a fake check.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I was just sticking notes to my bank. Sorry.
Unfortunately, my story does have a mild criminal background, but that was only because of drugs and alcohol.
Right.
You know.
But you overcome it.
Yeah, but through that, there's you get to, and because of the way my life was, I had an easy life that turned into a very, very tough life.
Right.
And because of that, I became successful because I continued to push forward no matter what. And if I can say anything to our guests, it's like, don't give up.
Never give up.
Never.
If people want to know how we got here, the journey, we never quit.
Yeah. You cannot quit. I mean, life is beautiful. You can find beauty within everything that you do. And no matter how bad things get, my advice is, listen, there's always someone worse than you, right? No matter how things can get. Like my son just fell and fractured. This is an example. He fell and fractured his wrist about a month ago, barely, maybe 6 weeks ago. And it was completely dislocated, like 75%. And everyone's panicking and we're in the ER and I'm just holding down the fort, right? Going, okay, just breathe, we're good. And, they admitted him in and he's sitting there and he's crying. He goes, Mommy, why me? Why me? Because they thought they're going to have surgery. He has to have surgery. He's like, why me? And he's sitting there and I go, Cooper, look at me right now. And he goes, what? I said, look, there are people here that are terminally sick. Do you know what that means? That they're never going to get better. This is your wrist. They're going to put it back in place and you're going to be playing basketball. Yeah. You're alive. You're going to get up and walk home. You're going to be fine. So always look, although, he was in pain and crying and it was miserable, But I'm like, always look at the positive side of everything. There's a positive side to everything, right? You can find it. I know sometimes it's hard to find, but there is. And sometimes God puts you through things to actually teach you something and make you someone, right? And you come out on the other end of it a bigger and a better person and a stronger person. And so that's what I believe. And so no matter, like, even now some things happens in my life, or, you know, my kids or my husband, I'm always like, you know what, there's always someone worse than you. There's always someone, you know, and the reason why I remember that is because I remember being young and going, we don't have electricity. We don't have water. There's bombs falling. Like, and now when my kids go, oh my God, you know, I'm like, you guys, you live in Orange County.
There's no Wi-Fi here. There's no Wi-Fi here.
Oh my goodness, the Wi-Fi's slow.
Things. And that happened to me during COVID, where the kids were one day sitting there and they were complaining about something like, oh my God, we're home and it's boring. And at that time, I had not told the kids my story. And I grabbed both of them. I go sit on the counter right there. And they just both sat down. And I go, I'm telling you a story right now, and listen up and listen good. And I literally sat them down and I go, you're complaining because you're stuck in a beautiful house in Orange County and you have nothing to do because of COVID. I go, you're alive, you have food, you have electricity, you have water. I go, let me tell you a story about a little girl. And that's when I told them my story. And their jaw just was like, their jaw dropped and they were like, Mommy, we had no idea you went through all that. And this was like 3 years ago that I finally told my sister, my daughter, she was 11. And so I just remind them that, you know, you always have to find hope in everything, and you never nag, never complain. There's something that you don't like it, go and change it. Right. And we have arms, we have hands, we have fingers, we have a heart, we could do it. What's stopping you? Yeah. Correct.
Well, I mean, no, seriously, we had a guest on, last week. Yeah. She had both of her legs severed above the knee, she got hit by a train. Yeah. And she has climbed
Mount
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
So like when I sit there and complain, like I can't do anything.
No excuses.
Like there's no excuse.
There's no excuses.
I watch her on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram, and now she's training to climb another mountain.
Exactly.
And she's climbing Jacob's ladder at the gym every day.
It's all up here. Yeah. It really is all up here.
Yeah. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
Everything is a mindset.
Everything is a mindset.
I wanted to close with my son's name is Cooper.
Oh, really?
And he plays basketball. Yeah. Your son's name is Cooper?
My son's name is Cooper with a K.
Oh, wow.
And he plays basketball.
Very cool.
Yeah. How cool.
Yeah.
That's
Not
awesome.
a lot of Coopers.
Not a lot of Cooper. There's a story behind that, but I'll tell you guys another time because, you know.
Not a lot of Coopers with a K either.
No.
That's
Mine's literally actually named after the Mini Cooper because I had.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had 3 other kids, and I had the Dodge Dakota, the GMC Savannah, and the Oldsmobile Aurora. So we named my son after it.
Oh, that's funny.
The K is more Russian.
Well, you know, we started with Kayla.
Yeah.
And so we were like, and I love the letter K. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I just loved it. And so I actually didn't want to call him Cooper, but, you know, my husband is a baller. He played basketball, right? And he was like, I need a name that sounds good because he's going to be a basketball player. And when that announcer announces him on the court. Exactly. And he's like, just listen, honey. And I remember being rolled in to the OR to do a C-section.
And he's screaming.
He's like, honey, Cooper.
That's hilarious.
Like, and he goes, just listen. How good does that sound? Cooper Panna. And I was like, oh my God, can you just stop? Like, I'm in pain right now. I can't feel half my body.
Funny. That's funny.
And then eventually we named him Cooper, but I go, we have to change it from C to K just to make it different. And we did. Cool. And then we got a dog and we named him Kobe.
Oh, really?
So now we have 3 Ks in there.
His mom's dog's name is Kobe.
Stop it.
Swear to God.
That's funny.
Yeah.
King Kobe,
Kobe,
I played basketball. I played a lot of basketball. Yeah. We actually won a championship.
Yeah, we did.
We snuck my son, and because my son's 17, we snuck a couple of his friends from the varsity basketball team.
Oh,
we put him
awesome.
on our men's league. We won a championship.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
These kids are
Well,
good.
you guys have to talk to Mark. He's so into basketball. It's on on every TV in our house. It's
really?
Like everywhere I turn.
Chad's had tickets. Chad's family's had tickets for the last 15, 20 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yeah.
You guys Laker fans? If you're got a
we
Kobe?
are such Laker fans.
Yeah.
We go
awesome.
like all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
We
Wow.
have seasons tickets, and
So do we. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
we
mean,
go
maybe
all
we'll
the
make a date of it. We'll get Natalie, your husband, me,
I'd love
Maren,
that.
you and your wife. Then we'll
I
do.
got 6 tickets. So
We'll
they
do a
have
video.
tickets,
Yeah,
so.
you guys. Yeah, that'd be
We
nice.
love that.
It's all about like, I mean, it seems like you're a content creator on top of
I am.
being a dentist.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you know,
I
we like
like that.
creating content as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a good
kind of
time.
what-
That's a good content.
We
night.
always feel like, you know, if I can cut down the amount of money, because in my business, the biggest expense is marketing.
It is.
It's
yeah.
beyond even, you know,
Yeah. In any
payroll.
business, it's crazy.
So
you have to market.
If I can, you know, bring those dollars down, I actually have more money to pay people.
Yeah, that's
Which
true.
is great,
Yeah.
you
So
know?
do you do your own content on Insta, or do you have someone?
Oh, well, he's one of our
Yeah.
content creators. We have an engineer, and we have a few other people. So
That's amazing.
I'm usually the one that uploads everything,
Right.
and then I, because I like
You
to
know, you-
I like to write specific things.
Yeah, I mean,
and-
you're like me. Yeah.
Yeah, I copy and
I
paste.
have
They don't
the
let me do stuff.
producers and-
Yeah, actually,
no. I'm so picky with that.
They don't let me do
Yeah,
stuff.
it's gotta be perfect.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yeah, when I upload something or whatever,
I mean,
it's
even
like 3
sometimes-
minutes later. Can you take that down, please?
Even sometimes he'll like put something on my story, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want it there, so I'll take it down and I'll put it over here.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
I actually go on my husband's Instagram. He has his own Instagram for work. I'm like, oh God, you did not post that. Take it down now.
That's funny.
I will call the office and I'm like, tell Dr. Piana to take down that story now.
hilarious.
It does not look aesthetically. It's not good at all. He's like, you drive me nuts. I'm like, well, that's what you have me here for.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Well, this was actually
Yeah,
a
this
really
was
good
really fun.
podcast. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
It
coming.
was
appreciate it.
fun. I'm
Yeah.
so happy I came and
Yeah.
I
We're
met you
happy you
guys. You
came.
guys
Yeah,
are awesome.
yeah. This
Thank
was a
you.
great
This was
time.
very good. We got to do it again.
Yes,
Of
for
course.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have to come on mine.
We
Yeah, we'll
will.
come.
We
Why
will.
don't you
We'll
do
bring
that?
in
We'll
Natalie.
come.
We'll do Natalie.
love
Him and
that.
I'll
How
come
many
100%.
spots do you have?
Yes. Well, what's that?
I
How
said,
many- how much room- how
spots
many
do you
rooms?
have?
We have a big table, 4 microphones.
Nice.
We can all, you know.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we're about
Yes.
to upgrade our studio because I just bought a new table. It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
We're moving everything back there. Everything's going on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So-
this is a great setup, you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
gonna
gonna
wait
be-
until you see
yeah.
it when we're done.
Oh,
crazy.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Mine is in Newport. We have a big table, 4
Nice.
microphones, lots
Perfect.
of cameras,
Perfect.
great lighting.
Yeah.
You guys need to
Yeah,
come.
we
Yes,
will.
We will.
100%.
We're there.
We'd love
Yeah.
that. And we'll
Absolutely.
invite Mark too.
Okay.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Why not?
Okay, good.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a
Well, thank
lot.
you so much. This was fun.